right, what's going on? Welcome back to the show, Anthony Presley Podcast. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Help me get in tune with the algorithm. Help the numbers grow. Help the show grow. Now, I want to get into a topic real quick I've been wanting to speak on for a hot little minute here. So for those who follow the No Jumper podcast, you may be aware of the situation between Brandon, one of the co-hosts, and Almighty Suspect. So in a nutshell, they almost got into a fight on the show. When Almighty Suspect kind of stood up, kind of approached Brandon slightly, somebody got in between. Almighty Suspect ended up spitting on Brandon. Brandon gets up. Now he's trying to come at Almighty Suspect. Almighty Suspect, according to the people there, according to Brandon, he pulled out a knife. And that's why Brandon kind of backed up. And he said it like, oh, man, he got a knife. He pulling out a knife and was kind of laughing at him. Basically like, you challenge me to a fight, then you're going to pull out a weapon. Lush, another co-host on the show, keeps trying to run with the narrative that Brandon is a snitch because of that. They even had a whole nother show where he was asking him, does he feel like he's a snitch? So you got that situation, and you got the Kid Cudi situation with the whole Diddy trial and him supposedly testifying that Diddy either burned up his car or blew up his car or whatever, kind of a jealous rage situation when Kid Cudi and Cassie was getting close. Now, I'm looking at those situations and I'm like, okay, I feel like the goalpost kind of keeps moving around when it comes to the snitch thing. And like lately, man, everybody's just calling everybody a snitch. I'm like, what is the deal? But they be kicking it with real actual snitches. I'm be so confused. That's why I said like this street stuff, this street life is just dead, bro. Like if you still trying to live the street life and you on some petty like thug street shit, you way lost in the sauce. Especially nowadays, because nowadays you're not getting away with nothing. With nothing. I wouldn't even attempt to live no type of criminal life. But anyway, so I'm an 80s baby. Born 1984. Growing up, a snitch, a rat, was something like this. Me and another person decide to plan, plot, strategize, and go rob a bank together. Right? I get caught. Whether they know that there was another person involved or not, when I get caught, I'm trying to help myself get out of the situation completely or get less time. So I start telling on the dude I was with that helped me, that planned it. And I'm giving them information to where it's like, when they hit him with it, he's going to know that I told. Like, okay, how would they know this? How would they know that? Right? So I took him down to save myself, even though we both agreed, we both decided to go do this crime. Right? You have that. And the other form was, I'm a bank robber. You a bank robber, but we don't rob together. We're not in the same crew. We don't chill. We don't hang. I'm just privy to the information that you live the same lifestyle as me. You rob banks too. I get caught. Oh, what I can tell you about other bank robbers to help me get off or get a reduced sentence. Then they go capture all the other dudes. That's another form of snitching. Those two forms that's what a snitch was, that's what a rat was, and that's why it was so like disrespectful. That's why it was such a low grade thing to do when they call you a rat. That's why they would say snitches get stitches. Okay? Because there was a time where it was supposed to be honor among thieves. Right? You live the street life, you decide to do street things, and it's like a unwritten contract that like you know what you're getting into. You get caught, you eat that. You don't start running your mouth and try to bring other people down. But the goalpost seems to like just be moving. They just be calling any and everybody a rat. And not everybody is living a street life. Not everybody abides by what now, as we get older, are just stupid street codes and street rules. And we all, well, not all of us, but a lot of us have been there. You know what I'm saying? And it's a hard thing to get out of our system. If you've ever been in the street in any capacity or lived the street life, it's kind of so ingrained in you. It's hard to like, not, abide by those silly codes. But the Brandon situation on No Jumper, I'm sitting there seeing it. Mainly it was Lush, like just calling him a snitch, asking him if he thinks he's a snitch. And I'm just like, how How is that snitching? Like, he didn't report it to nobody. He didn't call the police. The police didn't show up, and he said he had a knife. He didn't get a restraining order. He didn't, like, it was spur of the moment. A fight's about to happen. He's like, oh shoot, like, he got a knife. So I'm sitting there like, what is going on? How was that snitching? That was like spur of the moment. If you go to square it with somebody, if you at a bar somewhere and something pop off, you getting ready to square up, dude's talking crap, and he getting up like he gonna square up with you. You approach him, and all of a sudden he grips up on a gun. You're like, oh shit, he got a gun. You know what I'm saying? How is that snitching? Like, that's just spontaneous. You just like, oh, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna run up on him. He got a weapon. And spontaneously, you're gonna like kind of say why you're not running up on him, because it's not like, oh, I'm not no coward. I'm falling back because he has a weapon. We not throwing hands. Like, I'm not going to be trying to punch and he's going to be shooting or stabbing or whatever. But they were like so adamant that Brandon is a snitch because of that. And I'm like, I don't get how he's a snitch. And they were like, well, I forget, it may have been Lush again. I can't remember. But somebody was like, well, there's cameras here. Okay, the footage could be edited. Like, that's the thing about No Jumper. They act like they have to put everything out. Like, there's so much incriminating things that they put out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why Adam kind of does a lot of live stuff. He wants to capture it and put it out. He wants to be able to say, hey, well, it was live. Because Adam, you know, he content, man. He content over everything. But I'm like, okay, there's cameras there. Okay, then y'all edit that part out if y'all feel like that's something. It don't got to be aired. You know, and the fact that there's cameras there is like, okay, well, what does it matter? If he would have continued to run down on him, then okay, then he would have just been stabbing him up on camera. So even if it was live, like, it's right there. Everybody would have saw it anyway. Brandon wouldn't even, that's the thing, Brandon wouldn't even have had to have told on him. You know what I'm saying? If something happened where the police was called, or somebody in the building called the police and somebody going to tell them what happened, fans are going to start submitting the video, especially if it's live. They're going to capture it. And Brandon wouldn't have to do nothing. They're like, all right, we see it for ourselves that you stabbed the dude. You know, I mean, they may need him to testify or help them out. I mean, you know, it may not get nowhere if he doesn't cooperate and press charges or go along with it. But police can, I know, especially with like domestic situations, I'm pretty sure in other ways too, police can press charges without like the victim being a part of it. They can press charges for people, you know what I'm saying? Because they understand that sometimes people are just scared and they don't want to press charges or they don't want the snitch jacket. So the police can press charges on people's behalf, and then it'll be you versus the city versus you versus the actual victim. It helps if the victim cooperates. So 9 out of 10, it'll get dropped or thrown out if the victim don't cooperate. But yeah, they don't always need the victim to tell or press charges. But it would have been caught on camera anyway. But him just saying like, oh, snap, like backing up, oh, he got a knife. How is that snitching? Like, I don't understand. Like, that's why I had to touch on it. I'm like, you know what? How is that snitching? We got to stop moving the goalposts. We got to stop just calling everybody a snitch. Okay? And then the Kid Cudi situation, I'm like, everybody's just, first of all, it's a lot of older people that be in the comments talking about snitch this, snitch that, oh, Kid Cudi this, Kid Cudi that, calling them a rat. These rappers, the older guys. It's like, at some point, it's like, people got to just grow up, man. Like, y'all expect people to just be living like they 15 in the gutter their entire life. Grow up, mature. Number one, Kid Cudi has never represented himself as, never said he was any type of street dude, any type of thug, any type of gangster. Okay? I was surprised to even find out that he was dating Cassie. I always thought dude like dudes. He just seemed a little flimsy to me. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. You know what I'm saying? That Day and Night was a hit. I like that song. Okay? But I'm like, it's not really snitching. I mean, okay, if you want to just say, hey, he's tattletelling, he's telling whatever, like, okay, if the man got his car blown up, and if he's not a street guy to where it's like, I'm not going to say nothing because I'm going to go handle it in the street myself, then it's like, what do you expect him to actually do? Like, people can go around and just doing stuff to you and they can get away with it because you're scared to tell, because you don't want to be labeled a snitch. And I think our culture, we want to focus on stuff like this, okay, and uphold them type of lack of morals instead of representing anything of quality. This is why a lot of our culture, we're just so like low on the totem pole because of this stupid mindset that we have. And it's a hard thing, trust me, I know. Because then it's like if I was sitting here with somebody saying what I'm saying, they was like, okay, if you was Kid Cudi, would you testify? Okay, and it's gonna be a different answer because number one, I'm not Kid Cudi. You know what I'm saying? So what's ingrained in me or how I feel, you know, even if it's stupid, like street code stuff, is like I'm just a different person. I'm not Kid Cudi. My upbringing may have been different. I've been involved in certain things in my past. It's just certain things are ingrained, but it's like I wouldn't say nothing for me because maybe not now, but like yeah, more than a few years ago, but like 8-10 years ago, like yeah, I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't testify, but that's because I was still in the street at that time. Okay. Diddy would have got his ass hogtied, smacked, and I would have blew his damn car up while he watched. You know what I'm saying? But that's the difference. Like most street guys, they gonna handle it in the street. So they're not running to the police. They're not telling the police. But we can't hold that towards everybody. Everybody don't live like that. And I feel like honestly, in today's time, 2025 is like, who gives a kid? Who cares, bro? Y'all are disgruntled about the dumbest stuff, man, instead of promoting any type of positivity or uplifting anything of value. We want to hold on to this dumb stuff. And you see it all the time where it is actual street guys that be out here, supposed street guys that be out here snitching and running their mouth, and y'all be kicking it with these people, hanging out with these people, doing business with these people. Okay, it ain't been snitches get stitches for a very long time. So I think like we need to dead that whole snitch thing. Everybody like, okay, even like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay, if I know somebody that snitch, or if it's somebody they snitch on somebody close to me or me or something, I'm just not rocking with them. Like, okay, you can't be around me. That's just me. I'm not gonna respect if you was involved in something and you trying to tell on somebody to get yourself, like that's just low down. So it's like, you know, I'm not gonna, but I'm also not gonna talk a bunch of trash about him. I'm not gonna be online. Oh, he snitched. I'm not gonna try to put him out there. It's like, look, I know what you are, and I'm just not gonna be around you. It's not gonna kick it with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's that's that. I think we do too much woofing online, like, but y'all not gonna do nothing. So why you don't let? Who cares, bro? Like, who cares? And not everybody abides by those like silly street codes and street laws. We can't put that on everybody. Some people are just good citizens. They doing what they supposed to do. A crime happens, you know, you in the grocery store and somebody run up, snatch somebody's purse and run off. Whoever like gives the police info, we can't sit there, oh, you a snitch, make them feel bad. No, nah, they not a snitch. They doing what they supposed to do, helping solve crimes, you know, helping, you know, to get bad people up out of here. We feel a way because, yeah, if you are in the street doing bad stuff, or if you ever once was in the street doing bad stuff, it's like, yeah, you don't want to get caught and locked up, but we're not doing good thing. You're not doing a good thing, you know. I've been there, done that. Obviously not now. I'm like, you know, like I said, it's stupid to still, you got these old guys still trying to be in the street. You know what I'm saying? Still trying to do criminal activity, still trying to like hold on to some, you know, it's stupid. It's stupid, you know? But, you know, it's not an easy thing though, because like I said, certain things depending on your upbringing is so ingrained. Because even I won't lie, even nowadays when things happen, I gotta really give myself I gotta give myself pep talks to not react in a certain way. Cause, you know, some things is just like I just be thinking like, boy, you just don't know. If you would have called me, you know what I'm saying, a good 8 to 10 years back and like you said what you said or you doing what you doing, like it'd get handled a whole different way. But I got a bigger side in my conscience that always tells me like no matter what you do, because like stuff be happening and I'd really be like, it stays in my mind. I be plotting on like, okay, how can I really get this? How can I get him without getting caught up? And I have to remind myself like, there is no way to get him without getting caught up. You're gonna get caught up. And is it worth it? Is it worth reacting in a G way and risk it, because you're going to risk everything. You're going to get caught. You're going to get locked up. Just handle it in a better way besides a criminal way or a violent way. And it's hard because like when certain things is in you, it's just in you. And it's like, it's a fight to like, as you growing and maturing, to get that out of your system and not to care about what people that may still be there think. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard. I be having to tell myself, nah, don't do that. Just chill. Just chill. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard. What in those situations, like, well, the Brandon situation, I don't even think is snitching at all in any form. Like, okay, he just mentioned he saw a weapon in the moment. He didn't tell nobody. He didn't report it to nobody. He didn't. So I don't get how they saying that's snitching. That was just spontaneous. You running down on somebody like, oh snap, he got a gun. That's not snitching. That's, come on, man. They reaching. The Kid Cudi thing, he's a citizen, bro. He's not no gangster. He's not a part of no crimes. He's not no thug guy. He never said he was. Never represented himself as that. You know, he went through a traumatic situation. There's an opportunity for justice to be served on these various alleged criminal things Diddy has been a part of or did. And, you know, he's playing his part. He feels he's playing his part in helping solve a crime or helping put somebody away that may need to be put away. It feels crazy to us because it's our mind state, some of our mind state. But I don't think either one of these situations are snitching, you know, and I feel like we move the goalposts a lot when it comes to that. You know, if you still living some kind of street life anyway, and you like 30s and 40s and 50s and just, you a loser anyway, honestly. It's only so long that you're going to get yourself caught up and you're going to be picked off the streets. But anyway, man, don't do crimes. Go legit. All right. You ain't got to worry about watching your back or running from the police. Like, share, subscribe, people. Anthony Presley Podcast. Until next time.